إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. ربنا زدنا علما ربنا زدنا علما ربنا زدنا علما. We stopped last class at lesson 1. We completed that. We will inshallah start lesson 2 now, which is on i'rab and flexibility. We already know what is i'rab. Flexibility is something that was not covered in the previous lessons. So we will do about this. Now, before I begin any of the things here, I want to tell a few things, which is whatever we are studying now, these are the building blocks. Like when you want to understand the translation of the Quran, when you want to understand Arabic while you're reciting, when you're reciting the Quran in Arabic, how do you understand? There are two aspects to it which build up your understanding. One is vocabulary, which is the meaning of the words. Meaning of the words in Arabic, subhanallah, you will be able to find out with two things. One is the root word meaning, which is purely dictionary meaning, which you will build up over time. You need to read the Quran daily, you have to read the tafsir, and that's how you will build up on the vocabulary. The other meaning that is coming is from the grammar part, which is what we are covering here. Inshallah, we will also cover some vocabulary, which is through the 80% Arabic words. But the 80% words, like even if I just read in class, it's not going to help you at all unless you yourself sit and learn. You need to memorize those words. The best way to memorize is recite the Quran, learn it, keep making dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you need to implement Quran in your life. You need to live the Quran. So whatever we are doing now, they are the building blocks. Initially, you may not find it that connected on how am I going to understand Arabic with this? Why am I studying this? Why should I know this? But over time, when we move ahead to the other lessons, you will come to know why it is important to know these things. Because Arabic grammar is such that you cannot just start from the middle and understand. You need some base, you need to know few things. And those things are going to add up and give you new knowledge later on in the other lessons. So which is what we'll be doing now, which is what we are building, the small blocks which will help us to understand. Okay, so we will first do a review of al-kalima. Al-kalima means a word in Arabic. So whatever we have done in lesson 1, just a quick recap. We saw that there are 3 categories of words. One is ism, plural is asma. Other is fi'lun, plural af'al. The other is harf, plural huruf. Ism is noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, or verbal noun, which is the noun form of any verb. And verbs, fi'lun or af'al, is purely actions. It is slightly different from the English action in a way which we will see in some time. Actions can be in past, in present, or future, like we have verbs past, present, future. Verbs do not carry tanween, they do not end in ta marbuta. So whenever you have a ta marbuta or tanween at the end of a word, you can without any doubt say that the word is an ism. Harf are particles. They are used to join verbs and nouns to give you meaning, to connect them. Particles, conjunctions, prepositions, they are all very small words, hardly 2 letters, 3 letters maximum. Now this usually comes before a word that it is linking to. So whenever you have a particle, it will link to the word next to it, which is after it. Okay, then we saw that a noun has 4 characteristics. One is jins, which is gender. Every noun will have a gender, either masculine or feminine. Now why we need to know this is because whenever you are going to use, for example, a pronoun to point at the noun or any other pointing noun, or if you're going to describe it using an adjective, or whichever action you will use, all these should have the same gender as whatever is the gender of the noun. So that is why you need to know the gender. Like for example, if you're going to use an adjective to describe a girl, the adjective will change in a way that matches the feminine gender, which we will do when we do examples. You will understand this more better, but you need to know that adjectives match the noun in gender, so you need to know the gender. Same thing for pronouns as well. Now the default rule is everything is masculine unless you can say that it's feminine. So specific feminine nouns is what you have to study. You need to remember. It will take time, but it will come with time. You need to keep repeating it. There, some of them are signs due to which just by looking at it you will come to know that this is feminine, like the close there, or alif mamduda, alif maksura. Then words which are already feminine by meaning, like this one, mother, daughter, female names, these all are already feminine, so you don't need any specific signs to be present inside the word. Now here there is an exception given for verbs having tanween. This underlined word over here, it is a verb which is having tanween, but this is more on the morphology. This is not more related to the grammar, so you can leave this out as an exception. You don't need to do it now, it's fine. This actually is the emphasis noun, which is you add at the end of a word. When you add a noon, it is used for emphasis, so that is being removed and denoted by a tanween here. So it's not exactly the grammatical way, it's because of the morphology that it's written that way, so you can leave out that exception. Now, which are the feminine nouns that I told you that there is a list of feminine nouns which you need to know. Apart from that, if you're not able to fit any word in these lists, then you can very easily say that the word is masculine. One is if the word is ending in ta marbuta. These are the signs that you will look for at the end of a word. One is ta marbuta, which is this, the closed ta. If a word ends with a ya, which sounds like alif, which is called as alif maksura. In alif maksura, you will just have the ya, but there won't be any dots on the ya. Instead, you will see an alif there, so that this ya has to be recited as an alif. Like for example, huda, huda. This ya is not the, it is not the, it's dal fatha, and you recite as an alif. Da, that ya is recited as an alif. Then you have this one, a word ending in alif and hamza together. This is known as alif mamduda, like sama'un. Then you have, apart from these signs, this is what, if you just look at the word, you can make out. There are some other words which are feminine just because the Arab said so. There is no reason for it, because initially, as you remember, in the beginning of the class, we had mentioned, not this class but the beginning of the book when we started the course, that this language is of the Arabs. So whatever you will learn, you need to remember this thing, that this is how the Arabs talk. So you are learning whatever they did. You may have everything, you cannot fit into the rules of what they did. There may be some things that may fit in proper rules, there may be some which will fall under exceptions. So it's not always that you can fit all the rules that they did into a particular set of rules. So these words which are mentioned below are feminine just because the Arab said so. There is no specific reason for it. Can you please mute your mic? If you need to ask any question, you can unmute it, and then you can ask your questions in between. Anytime if you have any query, you can ask in between. So body parts in pairs, whichever body part you have which is in pairs, which is in two, like two eyes, two hands, those are all feminine. Eyes is ainun, means eyes. Yadun means hands. Rijlun is legs. They've given here foot. They've given the translation here, eye, foot, hand. Okay, so you can see the footnote there mentioned in the number. Sama'un means sky. This again footnote, the meaning is there down. Then there are names of countries and lands are also generally feminine. There are some few exceptions as well, but generally countries or lands are feminine. Like Misr, Arumu. Misr is Egypt and Arum is Rome. Again, the meanings are mentioned below. Now, apart from that, there is this pink colored nice box saying this is feminine, feminine, feminine. So there are some words here. Now, the way to remember this, because there is no connection between any of these words, is there is a story that has been made by a scholar. So it is just story, as in it's just a story made for you to remember the words. So somehow we've connected the words so that it is easily remembered. So that story I will be sharing in the group, in the WhatsApp group. For now, I will just summarize it in short. That we'll start from this word, this one, harb. During a harb. Now, whenever I will say, I'll not say during a war. I will not say the translation of the word. Why? Because if I just read the full story completely in Arabic, you will not, sorry, completely in English. If I just tell you the story, okay, this is the story, will you be able to identify which word was feminine in that? You won't be able to, because it's just the story. You don't know which word is feminine in that. So what you need to do when you remember the story, the words, these words which are in pink color, these words which you will say in the story, you will say them in Arabic. So whenever you say the story, you will remember that whichever word you are saying in Arabic, that is feminine. So when I say during a harb, and slowly you need to learn the meaning as well, harb means a war. So during a harb, a soldier was daydreaming, looking at the sama. Sama is already feminine over here. You can see here. This one, it's because of Alif Mamduda. So he was daydreaming, looking at the sama, and now it said it is he's daydreaming, okay, and then he was looking at the sama, looking at the shams. Okay, shams is this one, it means sun. He was looking at the shams in the sky, in the sama, when suddenly, one second, I think, yeah, okay. So he was looking at the shams, daydreaming, and then suddenly when he snapped out of his daydreaming, he saw around and he saw that he was the only nafs. Nafs means self or soul. He was the only nafs left on the battlefield. Suddenly, hot rih, this one, rih, wind started blowing, hot rih started blowing, and then he saw that he's surrounded by nar is fire. He's surrounded by nar on all four sides. So he tried to come out. So he was looking for a bi'run. A bi'run is a well. He was looking for a bi'run so that he can take, even ma will be feminine from here. It's ending like this. Ma is water. So he was looking for a bi'run so that he could put out the fire and come out all the way to safer ard. Ard is earth, that is also feminine. He wanted to make a sabil. Sabil is path, sabil all the way to safer ard. Then when he came out, he saw at some distance that there was a darun, a house. When he entered inside, on the table he saw there was a cup, sorry, a ka'sun. There was a ka'sun, a cup. Ka'sun is also feminine. There was a ka'sun full of khamrun. This one, khamrun. He was tempted to have a sip of it, but due to his fear of Jahannam, Jahannam is fire again, or Jahannam, which is Jahannam. That is also feminine. It's not mentioned here on the list, but usually names of fires are also feminine because fire is there here. So due to his fear of Jahannam, what he did is he took his asa. Asa means stick, and he dropped the kasun on the ground. He hit the kasun with his asa. So those words you will remember in this story. I will share the story in the group so that it will be easy to remember. Now, other than that, you have some words which are broken plurals, which we did above. Broken plurals are considered feminine in Arabic. This is just as a rule what Arabs used to, when they would talk in a way that whenever they would come across a broken plural, they would refer to it as a she, as a feminine. Then the second property was adad, means number. A noun can be either one, two, or many. It will be singular, plural, or more. The first, what you will do is you will look for the combination ani or aini. Ani or aini means two. If you find the combination, means that word is two in number. Ani is for rafa, aini is for nasb or jar. This we will see in Arab. If not, then you will check if the ism is plural. Plural, first you will look for this one, salim plural, this one here. Jam'u salim. Salim, you can be mudhakkar or muannas, masculine or feminine. Masculine plurals end in the combination una or ina. Again, una is rafa, ina is nasb or jar. Una is the one doing the action, and ina is either nasb or jar. It can be the object or after of. Then you have feminine plurals, is the last part of your combinations. We had 6 combinations that we did. Ani, aini, which was 2. Una, ina is plural, and atun, atin is again plural but for feminine. Atun is rafa, atin is nasb or jar. Apart from this plural, we also have something called as jam'ut taksir, which is broken plural. It's very common in the Quran. So that is why you need to know a couple of words with their broken plurals. The list is given at the end of this book as well as in 80% Quranic words. So I will drop a message in the WhatsApp group for the page with the page numbers that you need to memorize and a snapshot of the image. As a homework, you need to memorize those words. Broken plurals, as we saw, they are taken as singular feminine in Arabic. They are not only feminine, but when you refer to them, they are also referred as single. When you translate, translation wise, you know the meaning is plural, so you will translate plural. But in Arabic, when you speak, you will use singular words there. You will not, when you refer, you will not say they. You will say he, sorry, she, singular and feminine, she. So here there are a couple of examples. You have qalamun means pen. The plural is aqlamun. Okay, the pattern is pattern. You will put fa'ala root word in it. Fa'ala means to do. So af'alun. Whenever you say pattern, the alphabet and the haraka all will remain same. Only thing is you will replace them with the root words, which is qaf, lam, mim here, qalam. So in af'alun pattern, you will replace. You will get aqlamun. Aqlamun. When they say, we will say in English, these are pens. But in Arabic, when you use the Arabic words, they don't use these. They use she. She are pens. It may sound strange because in English we don't have such rule. We don't say she are pens. That is why when you translate, you will not say she, you will say these. But in Arabic, you will find the word she over there. So you should know when you have a broken plural and she, it means it refers to that. It refers to a plural word. So you have to translate it accordingly. Darsun is lesson. The plural is on the pattern of fu'ulun, which means durusun. Jabal is mountain. It's on the pattern of fi'alun. You have to remember the word is jibalun, the plural. Masjidun is on the plural of fa'ilu, which is masajidu. So qalam, aqlam, dars, durus, jabal, jibal, masjidun, masajid. Okay, these are just a few words, but we need to learn more from the list. The third property is definiteness. An ism can be either definite or indefinite. The default rule is unless you can prove that a noun is definite, you will consider that this is indefinite. So for definite, you have certain categories, certain ways of identifying. Definite means something that is specific. You know what is being talked about. It's something more than an ordinary. Okay, like for example, when I say my pen, I'm not talking about any pen. It's not any general pen. It's a specific pen. His mother. It's somebody's mother. It's specific. Any noun that will begin with al, alif, lam is definite. If you don't have alif, lam, you will have tanween on the word. So tanween means indefinite. The words in Arabic for definite and indefinite is definite is ma'arifa from the word arafa. Arafa means to know. So ma'arifa is something that is known. It's definite. And nakira is indefinite. It's like saying a book and the book. The book is definite. A book is indefinite. So in Arabic, a means tanween is added at the end, like kitabun. The tanween at the end means a. It means a book. When I went to say the book, I will say al kitabu. Al means the. So names are also definite because names are for specific people. So they are also definite. And for names, you will not add al because they're already specific. They're already definite. When you have an al, al removes the tanween. So when you put al, there will be no tanween. Okay. Example, masjidun is a mosque. This tanween over here, the tanween on dal, that tells you it's a mosque. When you want to say the, you will put al, but you will not say al masjidun. You will not say the masjid. You will make it al masjidu. You will remove the tanween and only put a single haraka. Okay. Proper names like Muhammad, Makkah, Musa, they're already definite and they will not have al. They're already definite. You will not say al Muhammadu. You will not say al Makkatu. Okay. And then possession. Possession shows relationship. So when you're showing relationship, it is no longer general. Like what we saw a few minutes back, my pen. When I say my pen, it's not any pen, it's my pen. It's something specific. So when you have possession, we will study these possessions, how to identify in the coming few lessons. You have this. For example, Rasulullahi, messenger of Allah. It's not any messenger, it's messenger of Allah. Sorry. Your town, Baladuk. Baladuka is your town. Balad means city or town. Kaf at the end means your. Baladuka, your town. This again is definite. Now, apart from these, there are few more cases how you will be able to identify definiteness, which we will not do at this stage, but inshallah, after a few classes, we will do. So, when there are total 7 ways, 7 reasons why an ism can be definite. If an ism can be proved definite by those 7 reasons, they are definite. Otherwise, they are indefinite or nakira. Something that has tanween like rajulun, masjidun, qalamun, tanween are all indefinite. Okay. Then you have i'rab. I'rab also was covered in the previous class. I'rab means it shows you the case or the status or the role of the word in the sentence. In an action sentence, what role does it play? It gives certain grammatical functions. An ism can have either of 3 cases, which is rafa, nasb, or jar. Rafa will always be the doer of the action. Whenever something is doing the action, that ism will be in rafa. Nasb is the object of the action. The thing on which the action is being done will be in nasb. And jar, you have to remember as after of. If any word comes after the word of, it will go into jar. Now there is another example given here. Muhammadun. Like there are certain proper names which take tanween. Nuhun, Mansurun, Muhammadun. Okay. Now how to identify the different i'rab? I said we have rafa, nasb, and jar, but how do I know that this word is in rafa, this word is in nasb, this word is in jar? How do I know? You have to look at the ending of the word. If the word is ending in a dhamma or 2 dhammas, you can say the word is rafa. If it is having a single fatha or double fatha, you will say it is in nasb. There are certain exceptions which we will see in the flex when we do flexibility. Maryamu, Ibrahimu, these are partially flexible, so they don't take a kasra. You cannot say Maryami. You have to say Maryama. Then kasra is denoting jar or a double kasra. There are certain rare cases as exceptions like qadin, madin. These are all rafa. Both of these are rafa. But you can leave out the exceptions for now. Now, apart from this, we saw this when we did number, single, dual, plural, the combinations. You need to remember these 6 combinations are there. Ani, aini, una, ina, atun, atin. And remember them in these pairs. These are pairs. Ani, aini is one pair. Una, ina, and atun, atin. Why in pairs? Because ani, aini both means 2. It's dual. It means the noun is 2 in number. The difference is ani is for rafa, aini is for nasb or jar. Like at the end, you will have all these are suffixes. These combinations are suffixes. You will find it at the end of a word. So whenever you hear ani at the end of a word, like muslimani, it means 2 Muslims. When 2 Muslims are doing some action, you will use muslimani. When they are being, when any action is being done on them, you will not say muslimani. You will say muslimaini, aini. Aini is for nasb or jar. Same thing, una, ina. Una ending, muslimuna. is Rafa, Muslimina is Nasb or Jar. Both are plural, masculine plural. Then you have Atun and Atin. Atun is feminine plural and Atin again feminine plural but for Nasb or Jar. Example, Muslimatun, Muslimatin. I will also share the Muslim chart, which will have all the properties, all four properties in fact, in the chart. You need to memorize the chart. You need to by heart it. It should be very well fit in your mind with the meanings, and also if you should be able to identify the properties, like which one is rafa, which one is nasb, which one is jar, which one is single, which one is two, which one is many. Okay, and the gender, masculine, feminine. Here the i'rab is summarized. Rafa, this column, it's either dhamma or the sisters of dhamma, which is ani, una, atun. So which combination which we said over here, ani, aini, una, ina, and atun, atin. From all of this, the first word which you will say will be rafa. Like in ani, aini, ani is rafa. Una, ina, una is rafa. And atun, atin, atun is rafa. This one, sorry. Atun is rafa. So here, if you see, from the combination, you have ani, aini, and aini. Aini and aini is same for nasb and jar. But dhamma is rafa, fatha is nasb, and kasra is jar. Ani, rafa, aini, nasb, aini, jar. Una, rafa, ina, nasb, ina, jar. Atun, rafa, atin, nasb, and atin, jar. Okay, the second box which is there is on the flexibility. When we do the flexibility, we will see this. But what you need to remember, if a word is inflexible, whatever the case, whatever it is, rafa, nasb, or jar, the word will still remain the same. An example is Musa. Musa is, in rafa also is Musa, nasb also Musa, jar also Musa. It doesn't change. So how you will be able to identify whether it's rafa, whether it's doing the action or not, based on the context and based on certain things which we will study soon. From that you will be able to identify. The one which is completely flexible, fully flexible, will have rafa, dhamma or these endings. Nasb will have a fatha. Jar will have a kasra. This is misprint here. Jar will have a kasra. But partially flexible ones, they do not take a kasra. So the jar will not have a kasra. Jar will also have a fatha. Nasb is fatha, jar is fatha, and rafa will be dhamma. So flexible is fully flexible. It takes dhamma, fatha, kasra, all three endings. Partially flexible does not take a kasra ending, and inflexible does not change at all. There are some examples given here. Just go over them. We will discuss them in the group. Once you have gone through it, take it as an activity. Don't look at the answers first try to do it on your own. Look at these highlighted words. Try to identify all the four properties, which is gender, masculine or feminine, single or plural or dual, definite or indefinite, and the i'rab, rafa, nasb or jar. Same way for this one and the next one. One thing over here you need to remember, al-anharu. Al-anharu is a broken plural of nahar. Nahr is river and har is plural rivers. So this is a broken plural. It's not a normal plural. So broken plurals, you will treat them as feminine and singular. Okay, you can write it as broken plural so that you will know. So there are 1, 2, 5 boxes and more than 5 words because some have 2 words in them. Okay, flexibility I just covered in brief. Right now I'll just go over it again. What do you mean by flexibility? Flexibility is something about nouns, which is how the noun is able to move or mold for i'rab. Is it completely adaptive to all the three i'rab, rafa, nasb, jar, or no? Some are fully flexible, some are partly, and some are inflexible. They don't change at all. Now, even if the i'rab doesn't move, in the sense when you look at the word, you still see it the same. But when you do grammatical analysis, a doer is a doer. A doer will be in rafa. So a Musa even though you cannot find out if it's nas or jar or rafa, based on the context, based on the meaning, based on the things which you will learn, you will be able to identify while you're analyzing the grammar. It will be either rafa or nasb or jar, because it is one of the four properties of an ism, and ism always has those four properties. So an ism will always have an i'rab. you may not able to you may not be able to see it every time, but it will always have an i'rab. Like there's an example given here of salah. Like salah is obligatory, all Muslims have to pray, whether you have physical impairment or not. If you have physical impairment, your ability will be limited, like up to ruku, sujud, or standing. Like to whatever best your ability, you have to pray. It's compulsory. So the one who stands, does proper ruku and sujud, is also complying. And if a person is having some physical impairment, they do it to their fully capability. Like maybe they may not be able to do the sujud properly, but still they will pray, and their salah will also be valid. Okay, so from this there is an example given of three Muslims. The first Muslim is Muhammad, who is healthy and fully flexible. He does salah according to all the full rules, which is proper standing, full ruku, full sujud. Second Muslim, Zaid, he has a bad back. He is able to stand, but he cannot flex properly. He cannot do proper ruku and sujud. Okay, and unlike Muhammad, who is fully flexible, Zaid needs to use a chair. Okay, his salah is accepted, it's valid, because he followed up to his ability. How much he was flexible, that much he did. Okay, the third brother, Mansoor, unfortunately, he's crippled. Despite being unable to stand or bend, he performs salah in bed using hand gestures. So both of them, Mansoor or Zaid, they could not perform the salah completely like Muhammad, but their salah is still accepted, inshallah. So altogether, the three Muslims' prayer is accepted. They performed the salah as much as they were capable. Same way, an ism will have an i'rab, how much ever flexible they are. Okay, in flexibility, we saw there are three categories: fully flexible, not flexible at all, or partly flexible. The Arabic terms, I will just go over them. You don't need to remember it, but it's good to know, because whenever later on when you would come across grammatical analysis or some terms, if you already know these terms, it would be helpful. Okay, mu'arab is from i'rab, ain raba, i'rab. From there, araba, from there you will know mu'arab means completely flexible, and ism is mu'arab, completely flexible. Mabni is like base, it's inflexible, it's mabni, it does not move. And غير منصرف, munsarif is from sarf or change. غير منصرف is partly flexible. So the one which is fully flexible is where the endings will completely change, like the example of rabbun. You can say rabbun, rabban, and rabbin. All the three endings can come. Same goes for all these examples mentioned here. But inflexible will not change at all. So based on the context, you will identify whether it's rafa or it's nasb or jar. They will look the same. Okay. For example, if you have, for jar, what we had told, if a word comes after of. So if I say pen of Musa, now you know Musa is in jar because it's coming after of. Okay. Now inflexible, you also have some pronouns, some other list of categories which come under the category of noun. They are also inflexible. Like you have pronouns the huwa, huma, hum. You have the pointing nouns hada, dhalika. Relative pronouns the alladhi, chart alladhi, alladhina, alladhani. And then you have names such as Isa or Musa which end in alif maksura. Now there is an example given here. Let's go over it. First, Rafa. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ. And when Musa said to his people. Now who is doing what is the action here? Saying. Who is saying? Musa alayhi salam is saying. So when he is saying, he's doer of the action. And a doer of the action is always in Rafa. So here you will say that Musa is in Rafa. Now the next one, وَكَلَّمَ اللَّهُ مُوسَى تَكْلِيمًا. And when Allah talked to Musa directly. What's the action? Kallama. Who is doing the action? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kallama Allahu. Allah talked Musa to Musa. So here the action on of talking is being done on Musa. So Musa here is the object of the action. So it's in nasb status. It's Musa is not doing any action here. Then here وَأَوْحَيْنَا إِلَى Musa, and when we revealed to Musa. Here harf ila, any word that comes after ila will always be an ism, and that word ism will be in jar. Ila causes the next word to go into jar. We will see this when we do harf, but for now you can know that the harf ila, it causes the next word to go into jar. So when you say here Musa is after ila, so Musa is in jar. Okay. Now here, when we do pronouns, you will see wa antum libasul lahun, and you are a garment to them. Antum here is a pronoun. We have done pronouns chart. In that, when we do the pronouns chart, we'll see that the independent pronouns, which are separate, they are always rafa. They're doing the action. So when you have pronouns doing the action, you will always use the independent version. But when they're object of the action, when you add them at the end of the action as an attached pronoun, U'budu rabbakumul ladhi khalaqakum, and worship your Lord, the one who created you. Khalaqakum, created you. Action is created. You is the object of created. So this here is nasb. When you have an attached pronoun at the end of an action, it's the object of the action. So it becomes nasb. But when you have an attached pronoun which attaches not at the end of verbs, here it was at the end of verbs. When it attaches at the end of noun, then it becomes possession, like lakum deenukum waliya deen. To you is your religion, and to me my religion. Deenukum, deen, deenu is religion, deen, deenukum, your religion. So religion of yours, it becomes possession. So it's coming after of. So this here is jar. So when you have attached pronoun at the end of nouns, it is in possession, so it becomes jar. When it is attached at the end of actions, it's becoming object of the action, so that's in nasb. Now we will end this last page, okay, till here, page number 38, and lesson 3 we will do in the next class. So here there is a note about the next one, which is partially flexible, غير منصرف. Partially flexible, as I told you, they don't take a kasra. Okay, they do not take a tanween also. So double vowel, and in un double vowel will not be there. In jar you will not have a kasra. They will not even take an L. Okay, this mudaf part I will explain later on when we do mudaf. Usually a mudaf is a word that does not have L. It does not even have tanween. Okay, and you can see here both the rules are listed, no tanween and no L. So it's specifically mentioned because you may confuse, okay, this is not taking L, this is not taking tanween. A mudaf is a word which does not have al and tanween, but this word will not be a mudaf also. Okay, so those words are partially flexible. Here there is a list given. There are some, if a name is Arabic names, it's Arabic, so it's fully flexible. But which are non-Arabic, they are partially flexible. Like Fir'aunu, you will say Fir'aunu in Rafa, Fir'auna in Nasb, but in Jar you will not put Kasra, you will say Fir'auna, again Fatha. Same thing with Ibrahim, Ibrahimu, Ibrahima in Nasb, and Jar also Ibrahima. You will not put Kasra. Then feminine names, Aishatu, Talhatu. Again, you cannot put tanween. You cannot say Aishatun. Feminine names, you cannot put tanween. You cannot even put a Kasra. You have to put either a Dhamma or a Fatha. Okay, these are names which don't have a masculine counterpart. Like not mother, father. You have masculine counterparts here. But these are pure feminine names. Then even names of places. Names of places are grammatically feminine, like Makkatu, Misru, Amrikatu. You do not put al on names of countries because they're already definite. You will not put tanween because again they're already definite. Okay, and they're partly flexible. You cannot put a kasra. Then 3-letter Arabic names, Umaru, this one Umaru. There are certain names, 3 letters. They will not be fully flexible again. You cannot say Umari, you have to say Umaru, Umara. Then there are certain patterns, Akbaru, Aswadu. Usually these patterns which begin with Alif, Akbar, they're comparing greater than or greatest. Allahu Akbar, Allah is the greatest. Aswadu, okay, these are superlative adjectives and colors. These again they will be covered in the later classes, but for now you can remember that such words, they are also partly flexible, they do not take a kasra. Then certain patterns like fa'alani, ghadbanu, kaslanu, sorry, fa'lanu, ghadbanu, kaslanu, these also they're ending in anu. You do not put ani here. You cannot put a kasra. It will be anu or ana. Ghadbanu, ghadbana. Because ani will make it to, it goes into the um, other explanation. It will change the word to dual. So you do not put that. Then there are certain broken plural patterns. Fu'ala, mafa'il. These broken plural patterns are also partly flexible. One thing to note, like for example, Masajid is on the pattern of mafa'il. Masajid. Masajidu, masajida, and masajida. You will not say masajidi. But when you put L, having L makes it makes it flexible. So then you will say Al Masjidi. Then you can put a kasra. There is an example here given to explain that. Example is alim and masjid. Like Al khayru fil masjidi. You can see the kasra. When you put al, you have a kasra. But when you don't have a kalm, al khayru fi masajida. You will not put a kasra here now. Kasra only the definite, sorry, not definite. The flexibility, completely flexible, it becomes only when you have an L. Okay. Go to scholars. اذهبوا إلى علماء. You will not say علماء. But when you say اذهبوا إلى العلماء, when you put alif lam, when you make it definite, the alif lam makes it fully flexible. Then here there are some examples of the patterns mentioned. Fu'ala and mafa'il was the pattern mentioned for partly flexible. Fu'ala'u, you have ghuraba'u, you have aghniya'u. Then mafa'il, you have kawakib, sakakinu, masajidu. Okay. You can just go over the words, no need to memorize them right now. Okay, so that alhamdulillah is the end of lesson 2. Go over it, go over the homework, which is the Muslim chart, then the story of feminine words I'll be sharing, and inshallah over a few days we will also do single and plural. Since I'm giving Muslim chart to memorize, so for this class I will not give the homework for learning or memorizing the plurals, which is broken plural. That we will do inshallah after we complete the Muslim chart. So inshallah I will end the class here. If you have any questions on whatever is covered until now, you can post in the group, you can post as text, audio, whatever. So I will end the session here. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.